Disinformation poses a fundamental challenge to the very fabric of society and political life on a global scale and in Bulgaria. Government has a key role to play in countering disinformation. Indeed, civil societal actors need vital support and commitment from the political authorities if the fight against disinformation is to acquire the status of a strategic priority. IJ's new publication offers a conceptual and institutional blueprint of how to establish effective strategic communications for a resilient state and society based on 4 critical dimensions. The practice of strategic communications across Europe and America warrants a definition of the phenomenon, according to which strategic communications represent a verbal as well as action-based approach, which is shaped by long-term state policy goals, values, and interests, and is achieved through purposeful, impact-guided engagement with the audience aimed to influence both attitudes and behavior.
3 points stand out in relation to Stratcom. First, strategic communications go beyond public relations because they are not meant to communicate events, positions, or activities on a daily basis to the entire public, but focus on strategic goals, values, and visions, targeting specific audiences through specific channels. Second, strategic communications do not represent a propagandist exercise because they do not aim to manipulate, but to explain and convince through accuracy, credibility, and trustworthiness. Third, there is an overlap between strategic communications and countering disinformation, since fighting disinformation is a key function of Stratcom. Strategic communications departments can be located in different ministries. Best practice experience, however, points out that collaboration among all government units concerned with fulfilling Stratcom functions ensures the greatest effectiveness. The US Active Measures Working Group is a prime example of successful interagency collaboration which countered Soviet propaganda during the Cold War. Moreover, insulation from politicization is key if government messaging is to maximize its audience impact on the basis of impartiality and transparency rather than perceived political bias. Public communication is thus distinct from PR campaigns or the promotion of specific political goals.
The effective conduct of strategic communications depends on network cooperation in 3 main areas. Collaboration with think tanks and academia, journalists, technological companies can facilitate knowledge exchange and the cooperative transmission of messages to society. For example, the Swedish Psychological Defense Agency privileges a whole-of-government and whole-of-society approach, reaching out to, among others, government agencies, municipalities, regions, the business sector. Strategic communications units can additionally benefit from exchanging information with the intelligence services, which can provide insider knowledge about the aims, instruments, and strategies of disinformation attacks and campaigns. The release of classified information and the provision of regular intelligence updates can be particularly effective tools in anticipating and preparing the public for developing disinformation campaigns. Finally, integration of national Stratcom efforts into international networks composed of partner governments and international institutions such as the EU and NATO can reinforce allied goals and shared identities and further counter disinformation campaigns that are transnational in nature. For example, the counter-disinformation activities of the G7's Rapid Response Mechanism have been coordinated by Rapid Response Mechanism Canada to raise awareness of foreign threats to media and democracy and identify opportunities for coordinated response.
Strategic communications should be based on a sound understanding of the audience. To this end, cross-platform communication via social media, televised statements or written outputs, and multi-vector engagement on the basis of short videos, fact-checked statements, interviews or storytelling can be responsive to different audiences' media consumption patterns. For example, Taiwan has established a robust digital infrastructure and speedy multi-channel message dissemination. The Taiwanese Ministry of Defense used Twitter to provide daily updates on the Chinese Army's incursions into the Taiwanese airspace in October 2021. This allowed them to draw global attention to the issue and take control of the narrative. strategic communications should focus on key domains appropriate to the functioning of StratCom. These include positive narration, countering disinformation, crisis communication, national branding, and image building. In particular, StratCom units should focus on developing positive messages that fill contested information spaces with positive, reliable, and truthful information, and thus help foster resilience against disinformation.
In conclusion, strategic communications represent a vital component in the fight against disinformation. Their effectiveness can determine not only societal resilience to hostile messaging, but also protect the state's key national security objectives. For more on the conceptual and institutional underpinnings of StratCom, you can read IJ's newest publication available on the Institute's website.